I'm Jeremy, and I suppose I'm the puppeteer animator in this project. What we're doing is we're making a film which, it's a blend of puppetry and animation. So using shadow puppets, like this sort of thing, which are basically bits of cardboard and a stick, which are all sort of drawn and then cut out, and combining that with sort of some film and animation techniques to create something which is a bit more complex than we would if we were just making it as a live shadow puppet show. We did this before on another project with the same team. We made a video for the recording of Kynoch. Schubert. I had to double check that in my head. Which was fun and very different, in many ways a much simpler project, because Kynoch has such a clear sort of narrative to it, and such a clear sort of motion to it. Like, basically there's a lot of people riding horses.
So spät durch Nacht und Wind. Es ist der Vater mit seinem Kind. Hat den Knaben wohl in dem Arm. Fasst ihn sicher, hält ihn warm.
So when Dan approached me to look at On Wenlock Edge, I had to listen and thought, this is different. I think the initial challenge was thinking, well, how are we going to connect these visually? Because there isn't an obvious story. In the end, we did sort of devise a narrative. I think the first film reasonably closely follows what's happening in the text. I say they all do to some extent, but I feel like there's more and more imposition as we go through, perhaps, in terms of creating a story, our story, as well as working with the words of the poems. I suppose the protagonist is a person called Edward, and we sort of see Edward's life at various stages. So we start with him as an old man, living in London. And then a lot of what we're seeing is him remembering back to his youth in Shropshire, with some imagined idea of Shropshire, starting initially on Wenlock Edge with him and his friend Albert walking up the hill, sort of traipsing through the great storm and battling the winds and the trees and flying through the air and things. So it's Edward's story really, and along the way he meets various people. So he starts with Albert, he loses Albert, tragically, he betrays Albert perhaps. He goes off and starts a new life, he finds love, he finds death and tragedy and loss. And all of this sort of emotional journey drives him to leave behind the sort of landscape, Shropshire where he was, so he sort of grew up and lived and worked, and flee to the city, I suppose. But then his older self does the reverse journey through the film. He sort of remembers all the stuff and then goes back to Wenlock Edge.